Confiez-moi vos hommes, et vous serez couronné de succès. Je me frayerai la voie par mon courage et ma détermination, comme je l'ai fait à Orléans face à l'envahisseur anglais.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the Professor, and I'm here to show you... There's not often you get to say something is absolutely critical to understand, but this is one of the ones. This is why I had to rush this video here and make sure I got it out before the video, or before the game launched in a couple of weeks. This is a trick that either you will do this and you can play free-to-play pikemen, or you do not do this thing and you can't play. It is absolutely a crucial piece of advice, and I need to make sure people know about it. So, with that, on to the video. I'm going to go through the heroes that you have available. So, go over to the heroes, legendary, pikeman, warrior. Okay. When you're playing pikemen, if you're free to play, then you have access to Boudica, Darius the Great, Joan of Arc, and Richard the First. Okay, you do not have access to Leonidas, and generally don't have access to Fredrick. So if you're to do this thing, though, you run into a problem. I'm going to go over here. If I go and get Richard for my first hero and Boudica for my second one, which are both heroes you can get from the wheel, I have to pick a third hero. And for me, that's either going to be Joan of Arc, or that's going to be Darius the Great. I don't have access to the other one. Problem is, great hero, mediocre, very mediocre hero. You don't have a full proper lineup of decent heroes. You only got 2 out of 3. And Joan of Arc is just never going to cut it. It's just a league behind the other ones, which I'll show a little bit later on in the video afterwards. So you're left with being forced to make one of these setups here, and that's not good. Now, you can get Fredrick Babarossa. There is exactly one way a free-to-play player can get Fredrick, and I will show that here in a minute. If you do that, then all of a sudden this goes from a mediocre lineup to you've got a stellar, one of the best lineups. Because Richard, Boudica, and Fredrick are all 3 like S rank heroes, and this becomes really, really good. So Fredrick, without Fredrick, your options are just really, really limited. Now, to get Fredrick might take a little bit of time, and one of the things that you're going to run into here is that you're going to have 2 heroes, but not a third one, so you're not going to be able to actually build a full army until you manage to get him, and that's going to be a problem. You may be tempted to build up Joan of Arc partway in the meantime, just to kind of use it for now, but it's all purely, totally waste if you do. Everything that you use in Joan of Arc will get replaced when you get Fredrick, and Joan of Arc will never be used again. So it isn't a great idea to invest in her at all before you, like when you're trying to play pikemen early. It is probably a whole lot better for you to go and play, swords. What was it? Might Swordsman instead, Warrior Swordsmen, and do that for the first bit here. Oh, this is actually a horrible lineup now I think about it. Ooh, I have no idea why that lineup was so bad. Where is he? Oh, I know why. It's because King David is over my farming one. That's why his army was so bad. Okay. There we go, that's better. So it would be better to play with your Warrior Swordsman for the meantime until you manage to unlock Fredrick, because there's no point in doing one of the other ones, so you basically can't play Warrior Pikemen until you get him, if you want to do well. You try to rush it earlier, and you just increase the amount of waste. So this will be the best lineup you can get. Now, if you're if you're paying, then you can get Fredrick really easily, but you can also get Leonidas really easy. And this will make the main lineup for him going to become this. This is the standard lineup. Richard, Leonidas, Frederick. And the idea here is you have your damage, and then Frederick becomes a really crucial key piece here that he provides durability to make it so you can actually last longer. Especially when you've got abilities like Whirlwind Sweep, which has a stack up effect, then lasting a little bit longer in the fight is pretty important. Now, with Boudica, one of the things you can do is run this lineup here, and that is really strong. It's a toss-up on which is stronger, this one or Frederick. I do not know which one is, but this is something that seems to be going around and making and doing very, very well as well. As for who should go first, Leonidas or Richard, that's for another video, because it's more complicated than that. Basically, whichever one has more stars is probably the one that should be in front. A rough, generic one. Boudica you don't want front. She's just... her commander skill isn't nearly as good as Leonidas or Richard's. Now, as for... go back to the individual heroes. If you're going free to play, the best thing you'll want is Richard over here. And you want to go Forceful Retaliation and Whirlwind Sweep. Okay. The reason for this thing is that Forceful Retaliation versus Fearless Retribution is the one that has more offensive stats. This one here is the one that increases your hero's might, whereas Fearless Retribution is the one that gives you recovery. And you want the damage. Nothing here. You also want Whirlwind Sweep because it's incredibly important. It gives you increases all your damage, which includes your commander damage, which is a fair bit of your heroes. So this skill here is critical. If you got this one or this one, okay, that's fine, but this one here is really, really important. Tenacity is not a great hero, or not a great skill. Now that'll be the same for... all right, well, we'll just go with Leonidas. If you're paid for him, what you want to go for is the same idea. Whirlwind Sweep, because it's really, really critical. Furious Retribution, because that's the other one you have. This is the Recover one, not the Might one, but you don't get a choice. But these two are the ones that you're going to be wanting to go each time. And when it comes to Boudica, it'll be the exact same with her. Forceful Retaliation and Whirlwind Sweep. So... excuse me. This is the one that increases the might, which is the good one, and Whirlwind Sweep. These are going to be your two things. That will be... oh, sorry. I'm forgetting him. This guy is a little different. Frederick actually has an interesting thing here. You do not want Tenacity, which you would think over here gives you a recovery rate here, because there's a recovery rate every 9 seconds. With Peaceful Haven, which is what you really want, it reduces your troops' damage taken for 3 seconds when it's healed. Tenacity is every 9 seconds, so this thing is going to be up 3 seconds out of every 9, 33%. So the Tenacity heal, the heal bonus isn't actually that great if you have no stars on it. So it's, yeah. Instead, this is the skill you want. Because this one will recover 12 after every 12 normal attacks taken by a troop, up to 2 attacks per second. What this means is that 12 divided by 2, you're going to end up with 6. After every 6... actually, I wonder if I can... after every 6 normal attacks, instead of every 9 like Tenacity, this means that Safe Haven is going to... activate every 6 seconds for 3 seconds. It's a 50% uptime. So you actually get more power on Safe Haven by going with Metal than you do Tenacity. And the heal, if you can max out Metal, which is not very hard, 100%, has a Might bonus and an Armor bonus. It is actually a stronger heal than Tenacity is. Now, unfortunately, if you're in a 1v1, then it's slower, and that's unfortunate. But a lot of the instances in which you're using this combo, you are going to be in multiple fights, such as using him in the arena and using him in open field battles. It is actually very common to be in multiple hits. So Metal is also free, so that's lovely, and it doesn't use your legendary scrolls. So it's just the better option by far. So what that's going to look like is Metal and Safe Haven, or Peaceful Haven, are the... I think that was a name change. I'm sure that was used to be called Safe Haven. Anyway, are the two skills that you want for Fredrick. Now, Fredrick is really, really significant because of just the sheer durability he gives. And compared to Darius or Joan of Arc, they're a lot less valuable. If you are going to go Darius or Joan of Arc, go Darius. It's just better than Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc has the same theme with the counterattacks and stuff, but she is the weakest hero in the game, legendary hero in the game. Darius is an alright hero. He's actually fairly decent. His ability to ignore damage is really, really potent, but he is a hero that requires setup. So you need another hero supporting him to increase his damage, makes him really a lot more useful and powerful. Pikemen don't do that. They've got nothing that'll do that. So if you're going to go and use Darius the Great, then you want to use Roar of Victory and Weak Spot Attack. If you look at here, the reason for this thing is that at level 40 but with no stars, Roar of Victory does the most damage at 360. Whereas Spirited Pursuit is less, and Weak Spot Attack is even less still. Okay, so this is the one that just does the most raw damage, which you need for your Darius to do his job with his armor ignoring ability. As for the other two, you have Spirited Pursuit and Weak Spot. Spirited Pursuit does do more damage, but it really shines when you max out its max rank effect with its stars, which you're not going to be putting stars on Darius. It would be not a good idea. Okay, Rare Victory has its damage maxed out right from level 40 with 0 stars, so that's why it's so powerful. Weak Spot Attack has less total damage, but it has damage multiplier, which is multiplied by your might bonus. So it'll be about a 35 to 40% increase in damage, which is huge for Roar of Victory to go off of. So they have a lot more synergistic effect versus Spirited Pursuit. Some amount more damage, but the damage multiplier is worth a whole lot more. So if you're going to go Darius, those are the two to go to. Now, if you're going to go... Oh, sorry, stars. And the question is, what stars do I put on these heroes? So, basically, Richard, Leonidas, and Boudica all have identical skills, or very, very similar with their stars, insofar as they've got one of these ones and Whirlwind Sweep. Both of these are valuable to the thing, and upgrading one versus the other isn't going to have a significant impact, more so than the other. So to go for the cheapest option is usually the best for these heroes. So even if it was something like, 1 point in Forceful, 1 point in Whirlwind Sweep, then go to the next hero and do 1 point in Forceful and 1 point in here and go to the next one, that would be okay because you're getting the most amount of value for the smallest investment, is one thing that these armies can do. They don't have a single skill that is better than others. If you have Richard in your army, max out your metal because it's a purple skill, uses a different resource, but don't max out Peaceful Haven. You want to go and max out these two heroes instead, Richard and Boudica. So you just alternate between their skills and do them up all evenly. As for stars... Oh, I forgot stars for a second. Getting stars on a Richard is going to be really useful, as it increases the damage, but this thing here will increase your... how does it put it? This will make your counterattack damage hit more often. Is about the sum of what it does. The each stack increase thing will not impact your commander skill very much. It is largely because of 16 stacks reaches that roughly 2 seconds quicker, from 10 seconds down to 8 seconds for Lionheart. Okay, so that's what its main value is going to make this thing hit more often, and that's what you're hoping for. That's more damage for you. Boudica. getting the 3 of them to 1 star is a nice, easy, cheap boost. But Boudica is not as important to get up into here, because the 5% increase is something significant. You want Richard here as a more important one. And Frederick, okay, his 4-star is very great. Each time budget victory covers units, increases the recovery rate by 20. This is nice. How do I put this? This is an increase in your durability, but it's a large investment to reach that. Now, in the case of this hero here, if I were to go and do Kingdom's Horde, okay, I've been getting the heroes for free, or not for free, but like, just by default, getting my Frederick coins here. So that's why he is above level 1 or 1 star, is because I've been getting the coins as bonus, not because I actually chose to invest in them. But those would be, yeah, which you want to go for. Allegedly Pikemen Warrior, and I will do another video that goes into more in depth about these heroes. The main point of this video is how to get Fredrick Babarossa. So that's what the next part of the video is going to be. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you how you can get Barbarossa. If you're free to play, there is only one way you can get him, and you have to do it this way, or you never get to play with him. So it is really, really important. Yeah, here's that. So currently there is only one way for a free-to-play player to get Richard in this game. That is to go to the Legendary Advent event, and when it's doing the one that has the 2 heroes you want, you'll want Richard and Attila. Richard will be the one that you would select, obviously. Now, when you spin the wheel 20 times, you will get 10 Richard tokens, which is nice. But if you spin the wheel 60 times, you'll get 10 Richard tokens and 10 Frederick tokens. This is the only way in the game to get Frederick as a free-to-play player. Now, you can do this thing. You'll go and you can get, the event will last for 5 days. And so you can actually get a free spin once every day, 4 times. So if I go over to the wheel mechanics, you get 4 free daily spins. So I'll just spin that now, and that's nice. I'm going to exit out. I've now got 1 spin there. Okay, I can do individual spins for 900 coins, or I can do 5 spins for 4,200. This is an 800 coin discount. It's basically 5 spins for the price of 4, which is what you want to do. So that is what you're going to end up doing here. Now you can get you can get spins one other way. When the event starts, then the mail will come out over government decree. In system, you'll get this piece of mail here, and it'll give you 3 spins. Now, when you claim these ones are special, because you can go back and go into your items, go to other. They're actually items. You can save them between spins. The daily spins, you use it or you lose it. You have to spin it then, but these ones you can save up, which is an important difference. So if we go back over to here, every 3 bonus spins you save will reduce the cost by about 2,400 or 2,700 coins. Now, if you want to get just this one here for the 10 Richard tokens, it's going to cost you about 1,100 coins, or sorry, 11,000 coins. If you want to get to here, it's going to cost. That's using the 3 bonus spins. If you want to get to here, you need about 45,000 coins. Now, when a spin comes and it's not Frederick, or sorry, it's not Richard, you could actually save those 3 coins for the next one, which will give you discounts. And the next one, you can bank up a couple in order to reduce the cost. But what you have to do is save up enough coins to be able to afford that 4,500 or 45,000 coin cost and get them here. If you do not do this, you can't play free-to-play Pikemen. This is the thing you have to do. With that, I hope you can see now why I said it was absolutely crucial you watch a video like this. if you're going to play Pikemen, and I think it'd be a lot of fun, it would be blast to do so, you need to be able to get the right heroes. And if you don't get Barbarossa, playing free-to-play Pikemen with Joanne is just not going to be the same. Barbarossa is going to do you so much better. He's going to be so much more fun. It's going to be competitive, so much more so than Joanne ever could possibly be. So I decided to split this into 2 videos. It was initially 1. In the second video, I want to go and do some explanation and some math involved in it, kind of the nuts and bolts, the deep level why. And so lots of calculations there. Since that's not everyone's cup of tea, I decided to keep this one as it is, a lot shorter. If you're interested in that, then go check out the link for the other one, which will be in the description, and I'll see you over there.